Welcome everyone. Today I have for you chess lesson and I believe that after watching this video you are going to improve your chess. So let's learn from Anatoly Karpov. Anatoly Karpov played with white and Jan Timman with black. 1979, and on the board we have the Pirc defense. What's the most important chess plan in the opening? Of course, the answer is simple. Just save our king and bring all our pieces to game. So, for this reason, first knight c3 and g3. Anatoly Karpov decided to play sideline and played bishop g2, supporting defending important pawn on e4. And of course, he has to think how to bring all his pieces to game. Believe me that it's not everything about where to cast. It's important to think about queen, bishops, rooks, and all together you have the plan for the opening. So Anatoly Karpov believed that his bishop belonged to e3 or g5, but one day there is a threat knight g4 attacking this bishop, so makes sense to play one day h3. If you're going knight f3, that sounds good, but what about this bishop? Just imagine that your bishop on g2 is unhappy, is sad, is upset if you're playing knight f3 because you are going to block this bishop. For this reason, knight e2 makes sense. So black played short castle, and now we know where to place bishop and knight. That's important to have plan for every single piece. For this reason, Karpov played knight e2, short castle, and here he played rook e1. Okay, why not to place rook to e1? That's a simple looking move. c6 and h3. I hope that you are not asking why Karpov played this move, because we understand that bishop is going to e3 or to g5, and Karpov doesn't want to see move knight g4 on the board. So for this reason he played move h3. Now bishop g5, h6, bishop e3, and it's good to have on the board pawn on h3 because no more threats like knight g4. Queen c7, and it's time to bring all white pieces to game. So let's think about now rook and queen. I believe that this rook is going to d1 and this queen absolutely to d2 with threat to attack pawn on h6. And finally, after these 2 or 3 moves, let's see what's happened. White was able to bring all his pieces to game, but this position is not a perfect, because knight on e2 is not a perfect. It's your time to think how to improve this knight, and believe me, that's exactly the move what is waiting for us. Anatoly Karpov was unhappy with his knight and he was thinking, hey, wait, how to improve this knight? I am world chess champion, I am Anatoly Karpov. I have no chance to play good game with bad knight, and that's exactly the most important lesson coming to you from this video. Never ever play with bad piece, and for this reason Karpov played move g4, aiming to play knight g3, and that's exactly happened. So knight g3, bishop c8, and if you're happy with all your pieces, it's a time to play with pawns. What pawn move here is a strong? What white's pawn move here looks danger, looks active, and I believe that f4 makes sense. White is more active, is more danger, has a more space, and black is searching for counter-attack. I believe that black's position is passive, without any threats, any attacks, and it's a question to watch, to say, to tell what's the best black's piece. b5 is counter-attack and b4 happened. Now we have enemy piece inside of our land. If you are able to split chessboard in our half and opponent's half, let's see that something happened. Inside of our territory is opponent's knight, and that's not nice, that's not friendly. So let's attack this knight. How? Anatoly Karpov will show you. Knight e2, first attack, exchange, and of course, never ever wait for a danger. Every time when your opponent's piece is too close to you, just attack this piece, and for this reason c6 and knight a6. You know, this knight now doesn't look danger, doesn't look super strong, and I believe that this knight look maybe weak, passive and out of game, and that's exactly important to attack every enemy piece what are danger to us. So now Anatoly Karpov played queen c2, looking to black's king, and knight f3. And what's happened? Knight on a6 is unprotected piece, and that's a tactical weakness. Watch your opponent's pieces, and every times where your opponent has unprotected piece, believe me that that's a weakness. And after a few more moves, now Karpov played queen d3. He was attacking this knight, and he's going to attack the biggest black's weakness. Where do you believe is the biggest black's weakness? Yes, I believe that pawn on a5 is weak, and Anatoly Karpov is going to attack this pawn and is going to take this pawn. Finally, Karpov is playing with pawn up. Maybe it's a question, and what's happened if black is going to take on b2? Yes, of course, for a while black won a pawn, but the answer is black lost a queen. That was a really bad pawn and bad move for black, and that's of course, it's not the story of our game. Black played a rook d7, but still black is too passive, too behind, no threats, no counter-attack, and what's worst, he's playing with pawn down, so b4, and now bishop e3, of course defending pawn on f4 and f5. First, looks like Anatoly Karpov loves to attack black's king, and the second, he is going to play move b5, and he knows that the most typical winning plan is the plan with pass pawn, and b5 pawn is a pass pawn, this is an extra pawn, and black's position is hopeless. You know, after bishop f2, don't hurry, play slowly, that's a good chess advice, and after rook a4 and c4, b5 pawn is protected, and every endgame is nearly simply winning endgame for white. But after this exchange, what to play? If you have advantage, if you believe that your pieces are stronger than enemy's pieces, it's good to open a position. In open position, your advantage is even bigger and bigger. And for this reason, Karpov played e5. After this, he take one pawn and the second pawn on a c5. And I believe that Jan Timman has enough. Now he resigned, but it was a one-side game and great game of legendary Anatoly Karpov. It was the game where since beginning Anatoly Karpov was working with his pieces. He was more active, most danger, and his opponent maybe was without any plan. I hope that you enjoyed this game, and if yes, just feel free and press like or press follow, and see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.